Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. In today's video, we will be making a DIY hamster travel bin cage. So if you don't know what a bin cage is, it's simply a hamster cage made out of a storage bin. So the first thing we're going to need, obviously, is a storage bin. So I have this one right here, and it's nice and clear. It has these latches on top, and this is 66 quarts, and I did measure this out, and the space of this enclosure is about 350 square inches, which, yes, that is too small for a hamster for a permanent enclosure. This is simply going to be for travel purposes. When I travel for Christmas, I go and visit my in-laws. The hamster will be in here just shy of 2 weeks. It's literally just once a year that my hamster really travels with me. So this is perfectly fine for travel. But if you're wanting to actually make a bin cage for your hamster as a permanent enclosure, you are going to need a bigger storage bin. I'd recommend getting 110 quarts or maybe a Christmas tree storage bin, as those are larger and they will meet the 450 square inch minimum that we have here in the US. Obviously, bigger is always better. In fact, in other countries like Germany and the UK, their square inch area recommendation is much higher. So again, get as large of a storage bin basically as you can if you're wanting to make this a permanent enclosure. Again, this is only for travel purposes, so that's why I got a little bit of a smaller one, because I need it to be able to fit in the car. So yeah, that's enough about me talking about why I'm making a slightly smaller hamster bin cage. I will be making a video about how I travel with my hamster, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. So we got the storage bin. Obviously, we need a couple other supplies. So I have some cardboard here. I'm just using this because I have carpeting and I don't want to hurt my carpeting, so this is just to protect my carpeting when I make this bin cage. And then I have a wood burning set. I picked this up at Walmart for $20. You can get them usually between $13 to $20, and you need to make sure that it has this piece here, which is a knife point. So it actually is a hot knife. You can also just buy a hot knife, but I kind of wanted the other tips, as I think those will be beneficial later in this video when I actually try to put the mesh on the bin cage. So this is going to be super helpful, and you guys will see what I mean as we progress through this video. Then of course we have some metal mesh. This is 24 inches by 5 foot, so it's definitely more than I need, and I think it's like a 1/4 inch square, so it's nice and small, so my hamster definitely can't go through this. Of course, you're going to want a metal one. There's that. Then we have some zip ties, and I have some tape. You could also use like a Sharpie, something to mark out the square on the cover. So yeah, let's go ahead and just get straight into this video. This is my first time making a bin cage, so let's see how it goes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open this up and get the knife tip in and then plug it in. It's got to heat up for a little bit, so we're going to let it do that. So this is going to help a lot with creating my bin cage. I've watched a lot of other DIY bin cage videos, and a lot of times there are plastic cracks on them, and that's just the way plastic is. If you try to cut cold plastic, it's going to crack. You're not going to get a straight line. That's just what it does. So if you apply heat, you're melting that plastic, you're allowing it to be more pliable, and you can easily just cut through it and make straight lines. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I like my straight lines, so that's why we're using this. Make the process a lot easier, and if you are a kid, make sure you have adult supervision while doing this, and if you're not a kid, please still be careful because you can easily burn yourself with this. And yeah, let's go ahead and just get this opened. Alright, so I have my lid here and I have my tape. You can also use Sharpie and a ruler, but basically I'm going to use the tape to mark out a square here. So I'm going to use the tape, and I'm going to use like the inside of the tape as where I'm going to cut. So you're going to want to leave some space here on the edge so you can safely secure the mesh onto this cover still. So I finished taping my lid, and I'm going to be cutting right inside of this tape. So my tool here is heated up. Let's get straight to cutting out my square. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go get a wet sponge so I can clean off that knife, because some of the plastic is sticking to the knife. So I will be right back. So I just have a wet sponge here, and I'm just going to wipe this tip off. And then that cleaned all of the melted plastic straight off the tip. I guess add to your list of equipment and tools, you're gonna need a wet sponge. Alright guys, we're back. I stopped the video when I basically just had this side done. It was working so well, so nice. We just glided straight through the plastic. It probably took me literally like, I don't know, 2 minutes. And then the tip broke. So I think it was a combination of just heat and metal, and it just got weak, and I was essentially cutting something and it just broke. So if I take one of these other tips in this kit, you can see like there's a part that twists into the actual tool. So it was like this, and then it broke. It just snapped off. So there's actually a piece still stuck in here. I currently have it unplugged. It's pretty much cooled down at this point. So this is the brand I got. It's Plaid. Got it from Walmart, 20 bucks. Complete waste of my money because like the piece is stuck in there. I can't even get it out. So don't buy this. It was a great idea though, and it was working really well. So I have my soldering iron here. I'm a computer engineer, so I just had this laying around. I wanted to use the knife tip because it would work better. But this is what a typical soldering tip looks like. It's just a point. And this is what a good tool looks like. It's a longer shaft, so it's not gonna just break in half. So I would look on Amazon if you want to use a hot knife, or you can use a soldering iron. I'm assuming this will work, so we're just gonna melt through the plastic and finish this up. And look at that. Got it done. No cracking. I would say those are pretty straight lines compared to what I've seen with other people trying to make bin cages. So I think it looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and finish taking off the tape. Okay, so I had like one big goober of plastic I just flattened down. This looks super nice, and what's nice about this is there is absolutely no sharp edges. So that is pretty nice. We're gonna use this piece of plastic here, and we're gonna roll out the mesh. I forgot to mention this before, but you do need a wire cutters, so we're gonna cut it out to be a little bit bigger than this rectangle here, and then we're going to burn some holes and zip tie the thing onto the cover. Yeah, let's go ahead and open this. So I got my piece here, and I kind of straightened it out here, and I cut all the edges off so they're nice and square edges. We don't have any extra metal sticking out. So the last thing we have to do is secure this to this. I think I want to put the metal on the inside. I know I've seen people do it either way. I just think it's going to look a little bit cleaner if I do it this way. Look at that, there's a hole. This works so nice. This is a little easier than the drill. So I'm just gonna put them like this and secure down this mesh, and then we'll come back through. I need to make them a little bit bigger for my zip ties. So I've got 4 on. It's looking pretty good. We're gonna do, I think, 3 on each side. So that feels already pretty secure. Alright, so we are finally done with the bin cage. Probably took about 2 hours because my tool snapped in half and I ended up monkeying around with that for a while. But if that hadn't happened, this probably would have only taken about an hour to do everything. I feel like melting the plastic worked really well. It just slid right through. It did take some time because melting takes time, but all my edges are nice and straight. The plastic is not sharp at all, and I just feel like this turned out really good. I've watched a lot of other DIY hamster videos, like hamster bin cage videos. Usually they like end up cracking the plastic, or they had to resort to using a Dremel and a drill. I didn't really want to use power tools, and so all I did was use a soldering iron and heat, and it works perfectly. And comment down below what you think of this technique. Would this be something you would try? What do you think? Have you ever seen this technique done before? And if you like this technique, make sure you also leave us a like. And I guess that's really it for today's video. I'll go ahead and put this on the bin cage so you guys can see what the final result looks like. You can see through it. The top has great ventilation for my hamster, and yeah, I'm really impressed. So I'll see you guys in my next video. And remember, live life to the fullest.